All right, without any further ado, let's bring on the head basketball coach of the Massillon Washington Tigers. That is Josh Hose, kind enough to join us here on the show, 1310 WDPN. Coach, how you doing this afternoon? My apologies, man. How's everything going?
It's going great. Sorry, I was just looking. I'm like, man, I checked my spam folder, everything. So actually worked out. I had a couple meetings after practice that kind of jammed me up. So perfect timing.
Oh, my God. Thank you. And I'm glad we were able to work this all out. Hey, before I go any further, congratulations on the district title. Those are never easy. And you guys took care of your business. You handled it with class. You got out of there. You cut the nets down, and you came back to Tiger Town. If you could, maybe just take us back to Saturday, what that was like for you and your staff and the kids and Tiger Nation that made the trip over.
Obviously, it's been kind of eluding us for a long time. I think 02-03 team was the last one when Coach Kramer was here. So we've been knocking on the door a little bit and just haven't been able to push through. So it's real special for our kids, our community. We had a great support that night, a really good crowd. It came out and wanted to, kind of bring that home for them. And, for our coaching staff, guys were just excited. It was a special moment. We had a couple of guys who were, emotional players. It's just, being close in football the last couple of years, being close in baseball a couple of years, and, finally breaking through one of those. And like you said, they're never easy. So you never take it for granted. And just, we just appreciate it, but we want to slug on and, keep pushing through.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's been such a great season, and you would love to take it a couple more levels. And I know you guys certainly have the coaching and the talent to do so, and now we get a chance to watch it all play out. As you get ready for the ball game in Worcester, tell us about the preparations that maybe began not too long after you secured that district title. What have you and the staff, what have you tried to map out as you go for that quest to punch your ticket to Dayton?
Yeah, so we, obviously every staff's doing the same thing. You start doing some advanced scouting and looking at some teams you may run into, start collecting some films. And, sometimes you're, wasting time on a team you end up not playing, but it's what you got to do. And we had a couple guys go out early to watch the first game, drove out separately and got eyes on Avon and Highland. And, obviously a team we don't know a lot about because they're, not in our area. And, we haven't crossed paths with many teams. I know Leary had played them, common opponent there. So, just kind of started prepping for them, Sunday into Monday and finalize some things today. But at this time of the year, it's like you can put a whole lot of new stuff in. And, obviously everybody's going to try to do what they do with some wrinkles here and there. So they got a lot of length we got to prepare for. So we're going to simulate that. And some talented kids that can play. And they've had success. They've been here last year, which helps them. And so, we got to tackle that challenge going into it, new territory.
No doubt. Josh Hose is our guest, the outstanding head basketball coach at Massillon, the Tigers, and Avon tomorrow, 5 o'clock. Don't be late now, everybody. 5 o'clock at the College of Worcester. We'll have it for you on our sister station, Q92, and, of course, Q92radiosports.com. I'll actually be doing my show from Worcester tomorrow at 3, and we'll get ready for the ball game and bring it to everybody at 5 p.m. Coach, I was just thinking about this. You guys, obviously being an independent for a long, long time. When teams are in a league, they can't wait to get away from league teams when they play in the tournament because everybody's so over-scouted and everything. What kind of approach do you take now that, you can kind of pretty much, I don't want to say hand set your schedule, but being an independent, that's kind of what you have to do between the road and home games. And then maybe sometimes in the tournament comes around, you might play somebody again that you played in the season, and some of the times you won't. What is your approach on that?
Well, this year we wanted to bump our schedule up. We had a lot of experience coming back, and we definitely saw, teams like a Shaker Heights last year and Perry, who had, the record wasn't the strongest going into the tournament, but they were really battle-tested teams. And so, I looked at it. I did the scheduling, and I wanted to pump up our schedule a little bit, and knowing our guys were ready to go, had some experience, like I said. And so, yeah, we do that, but we also had the battle of working around league schedules, which is always tricky, working on the home and away balance. You want to keep it even as much as you can. And, so it's a little bit of an art to it. We get ahead of it. We've been blessed to be able to, kind of, solidify some of those common opponents that we keep from year to year. And, we have those ones that come and go from, year to year. So, but yeah, trying to find different styles, teams that want to, set you and slow you down, and teams that want to run and teams that want to zone. And, that's, I guess, the fun part of it, because it is challenging to find, different opponents without having the league. So, we kind of take what we can get and, figure out if it works for us. But this year it definitely presented a lot of different things. We've seen just about everything you can see on the court, from different approaches and coaching styles, talent levels, big teams, guard-oriented teams, etc. So, I'd like to say that was definitely by design, but some of that's just, luck of who you run into and match up with. So, I look at our schedule, and I think 6 teams that we played this year are currently playing in regionals. That was pretty cool to see some of those teams that we, were able to match up with having success, and their coaches do a great job.
No doubt. Josh Hose, Massillon Tiger boys basketball coach, our guest here on 1310 WDPN. I was just looking down at Avon's schedule, and of course the Elyria, the common opponent there. They played Olmsted Falls, Avon Lake, teams like Midview, Westlake, Berea Mid Park, North Olmsted. Does this team compare to or contrast close to somebody that maybe you've already played this year on your schedule?
That's a good question. I think that's a challenging one, because they have size, length that reminds me a little bit of maybe partially Jackson, you know what I mean?
Okay.
In some of that style, or like a Walsh that we played early in the year. But yeah, they're unique because they have a lot of 6'4" guys, 6'5" guys that come in, and they're pretty deep. So we've seen that, like a McKinley, with the length that they have and the depth they have. So it's hard to put your finger on a team. If you could hybrid a couple teams, that would probably be the couple teams you'd say, a Hoover, with the way they run their stuff really well. So not like one sticks out to me, but there's a couple that you kind of draw off of, and you can definitely see some similarities there. But and they got athletes. They got some kids that are pretty athletic. 21's a really good basketball player. Number 10, I think, transferred in from Lutheran West. He's a solid player, at the guard position. So it's they present some matchup issues for sure.
Coach, one quick one before we let you roll. What are the travel plans for tomorrow? What time do you guys head over?
Well, we are going to get a little shoot around in some film. Schools, because of the time, they're letting us get out of school a couple, mods early, and we're going to get some food in us. We're going down to Massillon Eagles and getting some food. We're going to get on the bus probably a little bit before 3.
Okay.
By the time you're starting your show. And,
all right.
We're going to head out there and be in the building around 3:30. So hopefully, and get ourselves kind of acclimated, dressed, and as soon as we get on that floor, you want to get on there and get comfortable with the new confines.
No doubt. Well, we're looking forward to calling the game. Safe travels on the big bus when you're coming over, and appreciate the time, man. It's been a great year. Let's keep it rolling, okay?
Appreciate you, Sam. See you tomorrow.
You got it. There he goes. Josh Hose, Massillon Tiger head basketball coach, right here on AM 1310 WDPN. If you can't make it tomorrow, Tiger fans, we've got it for you on our sister station, Q92. Tomorrow,